Hi, it's Bruce. It's Sunday, August 24th, 2014, and usually around this time we're in the dog days of August, but the weather's been quite remarkable, and it's been like early spring. Before I get started, I want to say I'm wearing my Doctor Who TARDIS t-shirt in honor of the new season of Doctor Who that's just started with a new doctor, Doctor number 12, Peter Capaldi, who was wonderful in the premiere last night. He's older than most doctors have been in the new recycling, and boy, was he good. So if you're a Doctor Who fan, enjoy the new season. Another bit of news before I get to the shows. Bill Russell and Henry Krieger's Sideshow is slated to open November 17th on Broadway. We're very excited in this household, and starts previews in October. So Bill will be around all those performances until the opening probably, and I'll be popping in now and then. So if you see us hanging around the theater, please come up and say hi. It's a very exciting time. All right, now let's get to the reviews. We got something old, something new, something borrowed, and I'll be the something blue. A return trip to two shows. Phantom of the Opera, which I didn't know I was ever going to see again. This is my fourth time since it opened 26 years ago. The last time was because Hugh Panaro was in as the Phantom, and he had been in the original production of Sideshow. And this time, Norm Lewis is the Phantom, and he was in the original production of Sideshow. So we've got two Phantoms. You know, I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy it, but this is such a good production. They keep this Phantom in tip-top shape. You can't beat the performances. Sarah Bozius, I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name actually, even though she's a big star, is Christine. Norm Lewis is the Phantom, and they're great. There are sections of the show I think have always dragged a little bit for me, but boy, it's a crowd pleaser. The sets are fantastic, the direction's still fantastic. Norm and Sierra are wonderful. So if you want to check out Norm, Lewis, and Sierra before they leave, I don't know when they're scheduled to depart, I'm not sure if they are, Phantom was worth another trip. We got a nice backstage tour by Norm too after, so it was really, really a great evening, and I want to thank Jeff Mealy for helping me hook up to see it again. Another return trip, another show I didn't know I'd ever see again, The Fantasticks at the Jerry Orbach / Snaffle Theater on 50th Street. I went for one reason. There's a guy in this who's come into it recently playing the boy named Max Crumb. If you know, Max was one of the winners of You're the One That I Want, which was the Grease reality show casting the last revival of Grease. Laura Osnes won as Sandy and Max Crumb won as Danny. I've always enjoyed Max, and he was going in, so I went to see it with Bill and two other friends. I really thought I was going to just like watching Max, but the show is in phenomenal shape. It's so good. I was laughing. You know what? I've got to read everybody's names because everybody was great. El Gallo is Michael Sharon. Max Crumb, of course, is the boy. Samantha Bruce was wonderful as Louisa the girl. Dan Sharkey is the boy's father. Kevin R. Free is the girl's father. We had an understudy stand by Tom Flagg as Henry, the old actor, and his cohort Mortimer, Michael Nostrand, and the mute was Pierce Cravens. Everybody was brilliant, especially Henry and Mortimer were doing these old vaudevillian routines, and I did actually cry. I was laughing so hard. So get you back to the Fantasticks. Not to sell it short, it's on lots of discounts, so you can find it on TDF and Gold Club and all those things. And it's really delightful. All right, something not as delightful I saw the night before was King Lear. Upside down. King Lear, Shakespeare in the Park, starring Annette Bening and John Lithgow and Jessica Hecht, who used to be one of my favorite actresses, and I hate to say used to be, but she's starting to irritate me. It was all right. I heard a lot of people didn't like it. I wasn't crazy about it. John Lithgow just has that voice I can't get past some of his other previous work, and he did a really credible Lear, but it didn't like quite move me. Annette Bening I didn't care for, and Jessica Hecht sort of annoyed me. She's getting this vocal tick way of saying lines, very airy and going up at the end, and the audience, however, was jam-packed full, from Warren Beatty to Kevin Spacey to Judith Ivey, Richard Thomas. The audience was a treat to behold. I wish they all get together and do a show. So King Lear has fled the park now. It's gone, and I'm glad I saw it, but, you know. Another thing I'm glad I saw, we had a divided household here. Oh, I'm not supposed to mention one of us didn't care for it as much as the other, but I won't mention his name. The MAIDS. Lincoln Center brought in Cate Blanchett in the Australian theatre company's, Sydney Theatre Company's production of Jean Genet's The MAIDS, a play one never gets to see, or very seldom. Let me just say it was worth seeing. I really enjoyed it. It was really out there. Cate Blanchett was wonderful, so that's one reason you should be glad to see it. It's about two sisters who plan to kill their mistress, and they're the maids, and they play act out. It's kind of long and involved. Isabelle Huppert plays the other sister, and she was a little indecipherable in her heavy French accent. However, very physical and very wonderful on stage. I really enjoyed her, and when I could understand her, I really did enjoy her. I did understand maybe 70% of what she was saying. A discovery in here is the mistress, played by Elizabeth Debicki, an Australian actress, who walked on stage and I said, she's got to do Edward Albee's Three Tall Women. She's very tall. She was brilliant. She was matching Cate Blanchett. Wonderful. This week, this play just started in previews, so it's only been running like a week. This is Our Youth by Kenneth Lonergan. It's a revival from the off-Broadway play which was done in the 90s, early 90s, I believe. Kieran Culkin, Michael Cera, and Tavi Gevinson are the three people. I had seen the original production, and I'm thinking, I don't remember this play at all. And after the play was over, I thought, I know I don't remember this play at all. There's not really much to it. It takes place during the Reagan era. It's three disaffected youth. But I guess this was their youth. And the two guys were wonderful. Kieran Culkin and Michael Cera really made it worthwhile. It's not a bad, it's a good play, but it's more or less a character study as far as I could tell, and sort of like reflective of the times. Excuse me, but really, I find nothing much happens, and I was glad I saw it, and I liked it, the performances, especially the two men. But I bet in a month, if you asked me what it was about, I'd forget again. So I recommend This Is Our Youth for the performances, and if you want to see a Kenneth Lonergan play, it's his debut, I think, on Broadway. So really, the two things I liked the most were the Fantasticks and Phantom of the Opera, the old staples. So it's the beginning of a new season, and we got off to a pretty good start with This Is Our Youth. Let's see what we're going to get into. Lots of good shows and big stars opening this season. See you around.